Luke Cage. Oh my god, I have been waiting to talk about this shit. Stayed up for basically 10 hours last night just to watch the entire season from front to back again. These disclaimers out, let's get them out of the way before we start. This will be a non-spoiler review. I will not spoil it because I'm not a dick, I'm not a douchebag. I know that there are a lot of people around the country that have not seen Luke Cage, in which case, oh my god, it's been out since Friday. What have you been doing with your life? For those who don't know, I am a big Luke Cage fan. I did read Luke Cage comics when I was a kid. What I loved about him as a kid is that he's a black superhero. He's big, he's strong, he's bulletproof and everything. I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's also the fact that he's a hero that he likes to be hired and he likes to get paid for his work. And I was just kind of like, yeah, that's kind of how I would do things. Luke Cage is awesome because he takes paychecks. He's a working man. He's not just a hero for the sake of being a hero, although he does later become a hero for the sake of being a hero. And anytime you start with a Netflix show with Marvel, you have to start with the character, so let's get into the character. Luke Cage, played by Mike Coulter, he is amazing. Saw him in Jessica Jones, I was like, yeah, he's really good, but I want to see if he can carry his own show. Now, we have seen it. Thank you, God, or Buddha, or whoever the fuck made this happen. Not only does he capture that conflicted hero, that reluctant hero that Luke Cage is supposed to be when he starts out, he also does a great job of displaying exactly how badass Luke Cage is. And even though he's bulletproof and he's damn near indestructible, he still has a lot of issues and problems that he has to deal with throughout this season. You know, problems that a person that's bulletproof still would have to go through. It really showed the drive and the determination that the character has while also displaying him to be conflicted. For superheroes, sometimes it's like put on a mask, secret identity, that whole thing. They just kind of do away with that. He's just in Harlem. He doesn't need a mask. He doesn't have one. So he just kind of goes around as Luke Cage and everybody knows him as Luke Cage. Cottonmouth is the main villain of this show and he was really, really good. Marshall Ali does a great job displaying that charisma and displaying like this evil underbelly of like rage. But he had this really sadistic cackle in a lot of his scenes. Every time he laughed, I wasn't sure if he was really laughing to laugh or if it was a fake laugh or if he was going to punch you in the face. He did a good job of fleshing him out and the relationship with his cousin. There's a councilwoman who was trying to rebuild Harlem in her image with these new Harlem Renaissance projects. What I can say about Alfre Woodard is that she did a good job of making me not like her. I was rooting for her to die the entire time. Not like she's a bad character where it's like, oh, I don't really like you. It's really more like she really is a slimy, greasy, two-faced politician, just like pretty much every other politician out there. Claire pops up from the other shows. If you didn't know, you've seen the trailer, so you had to know Claire was in this. She's still as awesome as she was in Daredevil and Jessica Jones. She has a bigger purpose here, she has a bigger role, and she has a reason for being there that makes sense. I really like the fact that they tied in all of these shows. You can definitely feel that interconnectivity between the MCU Netflix shows. There are multiple references and Easter eggs and tie-ins to the other places. Characters show up from these other shows. That's all really cool. On the soundtrack and the score, oh my god, it's fucking addicting. The opening theme for Luke Cage and his like main theme or whatever, it grows on you. By the end of the season, I was damn near humming that shit to myself. And the characters, the acting, everything is just top notch the way you would expect this to be on a Netflix show. About the action. Luke Cage kicks all kinds of ass. He can backhand somebody and send them 20 feet across a room with like just open hand. They do a great job of showing how badass Luke Cage is, but they also, like I said, do a great job of escalating the threat throughout the season. Not completely tensionless. He does have some issues and problems that he has to deal with. They do a great job of escalating the tension. That's all I'm saying. Granted, it's not a whole lot of great choreography, but let's be honest. If you were that big and that strong and nothing could hurt you, would you really have perfect choreography? Would you? You could just flick somebody and pretty much put them in a coma. It's gritty, it's violent, it's Luke Cage being a badass, and we all wanted to see that, and we do see that. Granted, the show focuses more on story and character than just the action, so it's not really just an all-out action-packed thriller, but there is plenty of action to be had, for sure. One of the things that I like also about the show is that it's unapologetically black. It touches on a lot of themes and issues and problems in the black community. Everybody in the show just feels like they're real people, real black people just living in Harlem. I love the fact that everything from the culture and to the music, to the people, to the way they talk, the way they move, everything is just unapologetically black. And you guys have all seen the image of Luke Cage in a hoodie with bullet holes in it. What does that remind you of? Trayvon Martin. But they touch on police brutality, black on black crime, the whole N-word thing. They pretty much leave no stone unturned. They don't shy away from it. They don't flinch from the fact that this is a black show about a black superhero. Okay, I like the conflict that they set up between Cottonmouth and Luke Cage. There's something that happens that forces Luke Cage and Cottonmouth to butt heads. I really like the way they were drawing up this conflict and how invested I was getting in Cottonmouth. And probably around the midpoint of the season, they completely shift directions and go with a different take. Really jarring shift in tone and direction. All that build up for another villain, and then they have another villain that rises. And it's kind of hard for me because I have to reinvest in a new villain and a new backstory, even though I was kind of interested in what was going on before. It was just something I noticed, like how the season just changes directions mid-flight. I almost forgot to mention this. Misty Knight, she plays a detective in this show. She's an ally to Luke, but she's also an enemy because she doesn't know whether to trust him when he starts getting involved in all of these dangerous incidents with Cottonmouth. She's kind of straddling the line between, is Luke an enemy or is he an ally? Simone What's-Her-Face, I can't remember her last name, but she was awesome as Misty Knight. Great detective, she's smart, she has a great personality, she's fine as hell. I'm just throwing it out there. She's fine as hell. And I wanted to compliment her. Bonus points. But another one of the issues I had towards the end of the season, the finale, there's a lot of epic shit going on. Misty Knight as a character, they set her character up to be a certain way, and then there is a decision that she makes or doesn't make in the finale that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, where I was just kind of like, no, no, I don't think that her character would do that. It just doesn't make sense, and it kind of is a huge mistake for me on the writer's part. Again, it's not a huge thing. It's just something that I'm kind of go, man, I kind of don't really buy what she just did or just didn't do. Even though the show follows a realistic tone up until the finale, there's definitely some things in the finale where it's kind of like, okay, well, we got to go into the cheese territory. It's a little corny in some parts, and sometimes they lay it on thick. I'm talking Nicki Minaj thick. They sell it to you. They're the ultimate salesman, and they sell it a little bit too hard in the finale. Epic action stuff is going on. They sell it, and they sell people's reactions, and it kind of starts to feel a little bit Hollywood. Great characters, great performances by Mike Coulter, great action. You have a great villain that is kind of not utilized the best way in the second half of the season. Great way of introducing a black superhero. You have a great black community, a black feel, a black tone, great soundtrack. I mean, this show hits all of the cylinders it needs to hit, and it was everything that I really wanted it to be, honestly. I've never given a rating for a TV show before, but I think I'm just gonna do it right now. Luke Cage was a Superman Prime TV entertainment. Guys, go check out Luke Cage if you haven't already. That is my non-spoiler review for Luke Cage. I'm debating on doing a spoiler review once a little bit of time goes by, but either way, I'll let you guys know. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace. I'm from a city where having a heart is not suggested. I'm a maverick, a tapping backs, I'm a savage. I'm cleaning braces with tongue and vacuum. You wanna go to war? I'll take you to war. You might be bulletproof, but Harlem ain't. Wow!